request all of you to remain silent. It disturbs me a lot. Um, there were supposed to be 5 speakers. 2 of them are not here today. Dr. Sriram is not here. Dr. Kapte, both of them are not present today. So there will be mainly 3 presentations. We will certainly complete much ahead of the time schedule given for the period. Respected co-chair, rapporteurs, all the seniors. I'll be very briefly making a mention about IPM and Chilli and where are we heading. Next slide, please. Okay, I'll only handle. Sir, this side. Yes, side? Yes. This side, huh? Okay. So I would not go into the too many details. We have thrips, aphids, mites, gallmates, podoptera, borers. These were all some things which we had known. And okay, so all of you know what are thrips, and I don't have to go in detail, hardly 1 to 2 mm in size with a very fringed wings. But the main focus today that we are talking is on black thrips, which is on everybody's mouth, and I'll be dwelling a little more into black thrips. Black thrips, as you can see, was introduced about 4 to 5 years back accidentally through imported floriculture material from Andhra Pradesh. Very rapidly spread, leading to doubling almost the chili prices in the about 3 years back. Unlike the other chilies, somebody is talking. I think it will be difficult for me. So, unlike the other chili, it can feed both on the dorsal and the ventral surface of the leaf, scarring. But what is most significant is it literally dances on the flower petals saying that I'm here. But I would also like to caution here that any black thrips is not the black thrips that we are talking. There are so many species of black thrips, and the moment you see a black thrips on any other crop, you should not say we have black thrips infestation. This is just to show the different pictures that can be there on the petals, on the dorsal side of the petal, on the ventral side of the petal, feeding on the ovary, etc. And you can see that it is very different than the Scirtothrips dorsalis, which was earlier coming on grapes, pomegranate, rose and many other crops, very blackish in color, literally visible. And it is not only that, in a matter of 1 to 2 years, literally 99% of the chili thrips has been replaced by black thrips. This is just to show the power of an invasive thrips where it can totally decimate the existing species and take control of the other species. Now, not only that, this is just to show the spread of the thrips, and now it is also reported in Punjab, feeding on tuberose and on many other crops. Even in the Indo-American itself, we are spraying it on bitter gourd, pumpkin and so many other crops. Recent reports indicates it is likely to be on pomegranate. The government of India, as usual, wrote a letter, everybody to take action. Papers don't speak. Literally, there has to be action on the ground. Now, this is just to show the extent of loss that came in the press about 3 years back. Nearly 9 lakh acres of chili was in Andhra Pradesh, northern Karnataka, Telangana and many other parts. Literally decimated the thrips, and there was an emergency team that went around to address this problem. Okay, new operate madi, that's much easier. So this is just to show that the spread of the species onto other species such as cucurbits, where it is also being observed and likely to cause a significant damage. And it is also found in different countries, originally a native of Indonesia and the Malaysian region, and from where we imported a lot of floriculture materials. Next, the thrips was first reported by my own student on jackfruit at IIHR, cautioned the world it is going to be very severe, but nobody took serious note of it at that particular point of time. It is also present in parts of Europe and Africa. Next slide. Now this is just to show, many of us are under the belief that thrips don't cause significant yield loss on the surface of the fruits on chilies. The answer is far from the truth. If your genotype has got certain traits, chili thrips can do significant scarring and also impact the seed production. This is just to show the kind of damage that can come by thrips on the surface of the fruits. Next slide. Now, the management earlier used to be acephate and then fipronil alternated with all kinds of things that we used to tell, but these things don't seem to operate against black thrips. Next slide. And we also recommended those days application of neem and pongami oil as a synergist to bring down the level of resistance. Next slide. And we used to follow your different methods of rating damage. You can see the rating damage of 0, 1, 2, 3, which we developed IIHR. Next slide. 4 and 5 to indicate that when the damage rating, you cannot count thrips. If somebody says I count thrips and take control measures, he is lying. So you have to do a rating for thrips damage and accordingly take control measures. Around 2 to 3 at that stage, if you intervene, you can reduce. And in case of chili thrips, if you don't take control measures, losses can be as high as 80 to 90%. Next slide. Now this is just to make a comparison between thrips and capsicum. In case of capsicum, thrips, they love it 5 times more than chili. The damage on the fruit surface itself is highly scoring and qualitative damage can occur. Next slide. And this is just to show the qualitative damage on thrips. So when we are talking about thrips parvispinus, chili is a different kettle of fish, paprika or other capsicum is a different kettle of fish. Next slide. Now when the incidence is very high, I have talked to literally everybody from the pesticide industry, from the biocontrol industry, from everybody, and ultimately the answer is nothing seems to be working. That very clearly says the entire scientific community, whether you are from the private sector or from the public sector, there is a need for government investment to literally look into this. Host plant resistance at this point of time doesn't seem to be the best approach, but we have to first understand what makes this pest answerable to the resistance against the rainfall and then make its presence totally displacing the other species. The answer is lot of basic work is needed before we make any serious comments. Next slide. This is also thrips are also vectors of tospovirus. I have been recently observing the incidence of tospovirus. You can literally see on the left side the chili damaged tospovirus as compared to the capsicum chlorosis on the right. So many kinds of tospoviruses are there. Of late I am seeing, Dr. Krishna Reddy also probably may agree with me, the more you survey to different parts of the country, I am able to see more and more of specimens across different crops. Next slide. This was the chrysanthemum which was accidentally introduced, not accidentally, to please the political bosses. Infected chrysanthemum was introduced in Tamil Nadu. Along with it came the western flower thrips and western flower thrips. Today, to my surprise, 1 month back, I was in Jammu and Kashmir, and western flower thrips is reported from Srinagar. It has traveled from Tamil Nadu to Srinagar already. One of the most dreaded species transmitting tomato spotted wilt virus. All tospo is not TSWV, and this can transmit tomato spotted wilt virus. Probably on chili also we should expect. Next slide. This is the type of difference. I will not go into this. Next slide. Now this is just to show the leaf curl virus transmitted by whitefly. Yesterday I was just telling, no matter how much of your diagnostics, no matter how much of pesticides you spray, no matter how much of breeding that you do, unless the vector component is thoroughly understood, its genetic group, its potential, its symbionts, its transmissibility, the number of individuals that are capable of transmitting, mutations occurring in whitefly, if all these things are not integrated into the management, you will be never able to manage leaf curl on chili, on tomato, on any other crop. Period. Next slide. This is the chili aphid. Recently we had an incidence of chili aphid. Usually we used to spray dimethiate 2.5 ml and it used to get controlled. From coragen to everything on earth was sprayed, nothing was controlled. Next slide. This is just to show the kind of damage. More problematic and protected cultivations are in glasshouse, on capsicum and chili. Next slide. And we put sticky trap and you see the number of aphids that have been trapped. This just to indicate the qualitative deterioration that occur, and thrips, the aphids have developed tremendous resistance. Next slide. Ant association is one of the things which is mainly responsible and indicative of aphid damage. And this is one thing which I saw recently in Kashmir. A totally new disease, a viral disease, which we picked it up from the CITH, and then when I brought to IIHR and gave it to the virologist, I was told that this is a virus that is mostly transmitted by the aphids. So what I am telling is, new viruses are being observed in places which we had not even expected, and you cannot move plant material back and forth without adequate quarantine measures. Next slide. This is on chili, next, and this is on capsicum. So in the same field, and the scientist has come from CITH. Those who are interested can interact with her for more about it. The management of insect vectors makes it all the more complicated because of the fourth dimension of vectors in disease management. And one of the answers we have been repeatedly telling is scientific raising of the nursery inside this seedling material. You cannot have an unscientific nursery or unscientific seedling, like in citrus and many other crops, and then say I have greening, I have tristeza, I have papaya ring spot virus or anything else. Very often, the one which I have circled is the ladybird beetle. The ladybird beetle keeps the aphids significantly under check, especially our Bhagirath Chaudhary may know in Rajasthan to what extent they control on many other crops. They prevent the formation of winged aphids, and winged aphids spread the virus. Thereby, biological control is still an excellent option and should be one of the things that should be always in mind unless your material is of a very high value crop. Next slide. This is just to show an example to the breeders. All the aphid transmitted viruses, thrips transmitted viruses, in the laboratory you applied an infected sap and then you evaluated the germplasm. This is Lycopersicum pinelli, and Lycopersicum pinelli, if you repeatedly do the mechanical inoculation, it becomes susceptible and you throw a valuable germplasm. This is Lycopersicum hirsutum, next slide, which is otherwise 100% resistant to insects but susceptible to the virus. So virus vector resistance need not, I am not telling will not, need not translate to virus resistance. Next slide. This is a new problem that last time when I was talking to Nijagund raised this problem. Krishna Kumar, of late we are noticing this. Many of you do not know this particular problem. This is Chilli gallmage. At this point of time it is there. The infection occurs very, very early in the flower bud stage. Next slide. And later on you can see that the dry bracts, I don't know where it is. You can see the bracts in the box. That is where the infection has occurred. And once they develop, whether it is capsicum or chili, they are deformed. Next slide. This is in capsicum. Very often you see in the market capsicum which are absolutely shrunken and they are all infected due to gallmage. Originally it was low, but of late I am seeing it on chili, also on eggplant. Now the other thing many times we often confuse is all galls need not be gallmages. There are other hymenopterans which can cause these kinds of similar galls. Next slide. Now this is just to show on capsicum and can seriously impact seed production and many other things. Next slide. Now this is just to show the different borers. I would add a note of caution to all of you. Helicoverpa is making a comeback. In many parts of the country, in North Karnataka, Helicoverpa is making a comeback. Indoxacarb or other things are not going to work. Keep your other management strategies ready. Next slide. And nematode, nobody touched on nematode. I just had a word about nematode. It is a serious problem. The future is going to be seriously threatened with nematodes. Next slide. This is the nematode type of damage, often confused for micronutrient deficiencies. Next slide. You can see the kind of damage that has occurred due to nematode. Next slide. And the galling that has occurred. It can occur on chilies and many other crops. Next slide. So the other last enemy that I am talking is about yellow mite. Our tea is affected by yellow mite. Our many other crops are affected yellow mite. Many of you who are working on chilies and capsicum may not have really seen the yellow mite under the microscope. We are having a meeting exclusively with our mites on 20th and 21st. Anybody interested can come. They suck the sap and literally cause extensive damage. This is the mite which is a typically kind of a glasshouse pest, but if the high temperature and high humidity is there, the leaves will droop down and the petiole elongation will be extensive. Acaricide replacement has been one of the highest order across the country, but the acaricide resistance is also going into hundreds to thousands of folds. We don't understand because we bracket everything under the Churda Morda disease. Next slide. Next slide. Now this is the predatory mites, sometimes very useful. Unless you monitor it, you don't know whether to use a pesticide or not. I'm almost coming to the end of my presentation. Next slide. So management, of course, we have seen oomite is one of the best chemicals, which we are using, phenazoquin. They still work wonders if you know how to identify a mite and spray on the undersurface. Thank you very much. I think I have had many slides, but I have finished it on time. That goes to show It is not your number of slides, it is your ability to communicate pointed information. Next slide. Any other questions? I am free to answer. Yes, sir.
Any questions, please? Very good presentation regarding IPM on Chilli. If any relevant questions, you can ask 1 or 2 questions.
Very informative, doctor. Thank you very much. In fact, I have one thinking. It should be goes as a concept today.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಮೈಕ್ ಹತ್ರ
Hello, hello. Can you hear me now clearly?
See, this place, there is an echo problem. Often you are not able to hear what you say.
Hello. Now I can audible. Hello. Now.
Check.
Okay. Now I would really think in this a new concept. See, we must have heard of trap crop. So that concept, I think we need to really seriously look into chili management practices. So there is a lot of variability in tolerance behavior for sucking pests, especially thrips and mites. And if you can really think of using a highly susceptible breed with blending with the most potential hybrids or varieties, we can really reduce the multiplication ratio of these thrips. We can concentrate, focus on management of this sucking pest on susceptible breeds. Maybe on the border, every 10th or 12th row, we can have interspersed variety.
I understood.
So, in fact, this we have tried. In fact, we are quite happy, but it needs to be really taken in a
Sure,
very
sir, I'll answer
way
that.
and manual practice.
Thank you. Any other questions so that together I can answer? Yes, please. Mike, could you beg?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, what is your opinion about sulfur used as a acaricide?
As an
Acaricide.
As a? Sulfur as acaricide. As sulfur acaricide. Sulfur as acaricide. Okay. Any other questions? ಅವರೊಬ್ರು ಯಾರ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? I'll answer meanwhile 2 questions. The trap crops is a double-edged sword. If your trap crop is going to attract those species of aphids or vectors or thrips which are going to spread the virus, absolutely don't encourage. Supposing in the absence of the crop in which it is trapped, initially it should not attract so much of inoculum. Once it is full blown, it gets into the next crop. I would say that more of a border crop, more of an alternate crop, more of a mixed time over. I don't know what you mean. One minute. No. There are 2 concepts which I will tell you. नहीं आप थोड़ा रुकिए मैं बताता हूँ. Don't compare cotton with every other crop in the world. Cotton is cotton, other crops are other crops. Cotton can be, थोड़ा रुकिए ना. Cotton can, if you say no, I don't have to answer. The question is very clear. Cotton is cotton, other crops are other crops. The other crops can be grown in half an acre, can be grown in 1/4 of an acre, can be grown in 1 acre. Border crops to prevent leaf curl, border crops to prevent virus diseases, border crops to prevent many other things are one of the excellent methods by which you can manage instead of a trap crop. Number 1. You can spray the border crop and not so much so of the other crops. The main thing that is to understand is the more the diversity bugs the pest is the buzzword. So you have alternate crops you can prevent. With regard to sulfur, yes, sulfur should be our first line of defense. When the incidence is very low, only go for very heavy acaricides when the incidence is high. Otherwise, sulfur is still excellent. Go at 3 grams per this thing and manage the pest. I hope I have answered. Last question or anything? You want to answer something? No, वहाँ पे.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, my question is regarding black thrips. Black thrips, sir. So it is an invasive pest. It is reported from last 4 to 5 years back. So it is not able to manage successfully. So is it going resistance or are we missing anything in the management?
The day black thrips was introduced, it was already resistant. The day Liriomyza was introduced, it was already resistant. The day your Spodoptera frugiperda fall armyworm came into this country that was already resistant.
Sir, how it is resistant before exposure to the pesticides?
$1 million question. If you answer me in an open house, I'll be constrained to say there is some nefarious feeling going on. Today's world is, there are introductions taking place specifically with the idea of resistant populations being pushed into other countries to destroy their agriculture. But there is no proof, but it is possible. Otherwise, there is no earthly reason why these pests, which had not even been seen coming into picture, maybe, may not be, is $1 million. Okay, next, there was one person.
Hello, sir. First of all, I have a positive fear to ask you any question. My question is, as regards to the capsicum de-shaping, and you are correlating it with the gall midge. In seed production, we learn that even if there is no gall midge or no sucking pest or there is no problem, still there is a de-shaping, and we are correlating it with the quality of the pollination. If there is extremely good pollination, there has to be nice shape. In capsicum, there has to be 300 seeds per fruit, then and then only there will be nice shape of the fruit.
Sari, one kelsa madi. Please drop your suggestion, I'll reply to you. Dr. Yankesh, have I exceeded my time?
No, sir, all right, because you can proceed, because it is one of the important burning problem in Chile.
I go by, okay. And Dr. Venkatesh?
No, sir, this is fully an answer to the young man's question. When a new pest is introduced,
Venkatesh, hold it like this.
Yeah. When a new pest is introduced, when you see it is manifold resistance, for many of the existing insecticides here, it has already been exposed in the other countries from where it is coming. For example, Frugiferda, when it came from, Latin America was using all these mode of actions, it was already resistance. And, don't think that the introduced pest is newly exposed to the new insecticides here. These insecticides are present elsewhere as well. Okay, we can talk about it a little more.
It's a very different thing. That's we'll discuss. The person with the black shirt.
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಗಾಳಪ್ಪ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸಾವಯವ ಕೃಷಿಕ. ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಥ್ರಿಪ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ರಾಸಾಯನಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಔಷಧಗಳಿವೆ, ಆದರೆ ಸಾವಯವದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ ಸರ್? ಏನು ಸಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ?
ಸಾವಯವ ಕೃಷಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು since he's a farmer, I'll answer in Kannada, but I'll also add a few words. ಸಾವಯವ ಕೃಷಿ ಆದರೆ ಆಗಲಿ, ನಾವು ರಾಸಾಯನಿಕ ಕೃಷಿ ಆಗಲಿ, ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಬೇವಿನ ಸೋಪು, ಹೊಂಗೆ ಸೋಪು, ಬಟಾನಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿತ್ all the other options, including whatever that is possible, should be our first option. ನಾವು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಮಧ್ಯ we are recommending, because it's only neem and pongamia and such other botanicals which can suppress the population from exploding level. At this point of time, now yadu parasites, predators, we have not observed at such a significant role. Still a lot of work has to be done. Even in organic farming, probably if the pest is not very high, we still have to think. So ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ನಡಿಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದಿದೆ.
ಸರ್, ಒನ್ ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್. ಅಲ್ಲ, ರೈತ ಬಾಂಧವರೇ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೇಳಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಸಾವಯವದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಥ್ರಿಪ್ಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ನೀವು ಬೇವಿನ ಹಿಂಡಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ಹೊಲಕ್ಕೆ, ಒಂದೇ ಕೆಲಸ. ಎರಡನೇದು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಇತ್ತಿತ್ತಲಾಗೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಥ್ರಿಪ್ಸ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಔಟ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ವಾಚ್ಗಳರ್ಸು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನನಗೆ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ರೈತರು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ನಾಗ ಅದಾರು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ವರ್ಕೌಟ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಯಾವ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಥ್ರಿಪ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಸಾಯಿಸೋಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಒನ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಬ್ಲುಫ್ಲಾ ನಿಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ 300 EC ಅಂತ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ದಲ್ಲಿ BSF ಕಂಪ್ನಿದವರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ವೆಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಇದು ಆಸ್ ಪರ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್, ನನ್ನ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ.
ಹರೀಶ್,
ಇದು ಒಂದೇದು. ಎರಡನೇದು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸಾವಯವದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ರಾಯಚೂರು ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ತೋಟಗಾರಿಕೆ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ, ಧಾರವಾಡ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಸಿಗ್ತಾವೆ ರೀ. ಒಂದು ಬೆವೇರಿಯಾ ಬೆಸಿಯಾನ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಲೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಿಲಿಯಂ ಲೆಕಾನಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫರ್ಟಿಸಿಲಿಯಂ ಲೆಕಾನಿನೂ ಅಂತಾರೆ. 1 ಲೀಟರ್ ನೀರಿಗೆ 5 ಗ್ರಾಮು ಫರ್ಟಿಸಿಲಿಯಂ ಲೆಕಾನಿ, 5 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬೆವೇರಿಯಾ ಬೆಸಿಯಾನ.
I will only add this point.
It has given 100% control. ಆದರೆ ನೀವು ಸ್ಪ್ರೇ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಬಿಸಿಲಾಗ ಸ್ಪ್ರೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
There is going to be 1 hour panel discussion on these emerging crops which are burning problems. And I don't want to take somebody else's time. So what I will do is, there are two options. Please drop your suggestions into the box. We will also continue with, we have persons like Dr. Bhagirath who have done a lot of work. We are at the grassroots level and many others. We will have a panel discussions, both with respect to leaf curl, black thrips and many others. We will take the discussion forward. So, yes please.
Neem leaves.
Yes, sir.
Whatever it comes out, volatiles, that will
Fumigate-
repel the
fumigate
thrips.
action.
He is saying he is a farmer, seed farmer, sir.
Okay, what we will do is, when we had COVID, somebody said garlic, somebody said turmeric, somebody said common salt, somebody said crocin. Finally, what we ended up, 1 minute, is vaccination saved us. So we have to have a scientific approach. We have to validate the IT case. So at this point of life, let us not make a black and white kind of a recommendations. Dr. Bhagirath.
Sir, excellent presentation. I want to thank you. IPM is a very important area of production for farming community. And IPM is something that is being demanded by importing countries. No one would like to import chili from India with pesticide residue going above MRN. So if India has to really maintain the competitiveness, then we must ensure that IPM practices are being followed rigorously on a very large area in the country. What steps that government must take to help farmer produce import compliant IPM chili in the country, sir, given that the black thrip is devastating chili production in the country?
One of the strong recommendations that I, with folded hands, I give it to the government, we have been telling for the last 20 years is, for heaven's sake, strengthen your quarantine. Don't go on allowing pests to come into this country and put the onus on the scientist to say that this has come, this has come. I can list another 10 which are going to come, and all of them are dreaded ones. So we have no expertise when it comes to quarantine, we care to hoots. That is number one recommendation that should go. And with regard to the export commodity, we have to have very serious discussion, but I don't want, again, as I said, we will take this discussion forward during the special discussion session on black thrips and all the anthracnose, leaf curl and many other things that need to be considered and come out with a salient recommendation. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Person, regarding malformation of capsicum fruit.
Malformation.
So whatever you are told is 100% correct. There are minimum 5-6 reasons for malformation and the seed development. It is not only the mid, sir.
It is not only mid, I agree.
Nutrient deficiency is also playing.
I am only talking from an entomological perspective.
Yes, I agree. I think all the reasons what quoted by, I don't know who has asked that is correct actually.
Yes, yes.
Whatever the reasons you have quoted for malformation is correct, along with midge.
I am afraid Dr. Tikku is going to take a class for me at the end of the day. So, saying that you have overshot your time. Question and answers, some say to be extended. So, we will close
Okay,
this.
sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your excellent
We'll close this
presentation
at
and
this
discussion.
point of time. I understand I don't want to take somebody else's time. So, we'll close it for the time being. Like you, I am also interested in continuing. Put your suggestions into the box. I would really request all of you to, even during tea time, we will extend the discussion during the panel discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.